Hello, my name is Davy. I am software engineer. I have a data journalism website who provide semantic analysis tools for popular consultation. I am an advocate of the majority judgment voting system. When we see the state of this world, it is difficult to imagine that there is no solution. The fact is that we have a unused source of data, popular judgment. How to describe a paradigm shift in 30 seconds? Well-established structures are opposite to new and more proven premises. We are moving from an era of power and quantity, which is deterministic and anthropic, to that the search for meaning, quality, and centropy. Centropy is improvement, perfecting, it's a virtuous cycle. We find this in nonviolent communication by offering a change of perspective, which constitutes a gain in the structure of the information. It's very inspiring for us. And if you know that, it's a part of the open dialogue. How does it work? By providing a tool of discernment that encourages intellectual and emotional self-determination. In particular, it is a question of not letting two distinct ontological orders interfere. These two orders are feeling, which require a field of consciousness, and needs, which are physical, material, emotional, measurable. The principle of supply and demand, what is our subject, proceed from this ontological confusion. This is a fallacy, a fallacious premise, which explodes under the weight of the construction that merge on it. The democracy is a matter of supply and demand, and these are the only lever that the population has on the social system. In the same way, the two vectors we need are 1. The expression of aspiration, and 2. The satisfaction of needs, and not to see symbols in material things. But then comes the question how to integrate notions such as ethics, morality, culture, respect for nature, which are qualitative value and therefore subjective in formal economic calculation. How to integrate them into a system. This question is more important for us than struggling to solve the explosion of symptoms of an unfair system. This is where the tour de force took place, carried by French scientific excellence, with the French accent, after 200 years of effort. It is a question of quantifying a sum of individual preference, respecting consistency criteria. You will say, this is not new, this is what referendum do. But the results are false, totally false, inaccurate, invalid. Sorry. Quantity is not the truth. The truth comes down to the quality of the information structure. This is the systemic. The advantage of the majority judgment voting system are to not practice useful voting or to not be forced to choose, to render useless the electoral strategy which consists in polarizing the opinions. And suddenly, we have the tools to overcome the determinism of a social system which no one wants. This opens up new possibilities because now we can measure the determination of the people. How? First of all, the referendums are now consistent. We could vote on topic rather than people. The qualitative survey can be pushed on social network and background site to know the expectation. We can iterate the polls and entrust complex problems to collective intelligence. We can combine subjective and objective factors and obtain an efficient score within a rational decision software. This can apply to social platforms to, for example, distribute donation fairly or create customizable quality labels. According to the economist Samuelson, rationality is inscribed as a sum of utilities weighted by psychological discount rate. This means that we have just removed a sticky point in economic theories about value of use or currencies based on criteria. Because now we can measure the subjectivity and define an equity. We can socialize the value. The goods are goods, the value has value. It's transcendent to say that there is no other way to lead a civilization except by taking into account the subjectivity of each one. The global impact are 1. The real democracy. It is the end of the power of the few. 2. The citizen capable of acting feels involved, responsible, and proactive. A non-violent system consists in allowing aspiration to take shape upstream and downstream of consumption. The causal chains are under control. If the value of use justifies the transaction, then it is an architecture of peace. So, if we make rational use of resources, it means that we can provide for everyone's needs while making a substantial saving. Innovation, such as recycling, robotization, or new energy sources, have a positive impact on value. Gratuitousness and abundance are profitable. Logically, wars become useless because cooperation produces better score. Short-term individual action fits in long-term and large-scale goals. 30% of the land can be dedicated to protected natural area. Now we can put mechanics and functionality at the service of a search for meaning. Humanity is inevitably led to make of its destiny a conscious act, because only freedom can break the determinism of the universe. Stephen Hessel, who was a resistance fighter and contributor to the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, said me, so I'm telling it to you. He is 94 years old at this moment, and with his blue eyes full of energy, he said, "We are never revolutionary enough," which in French give, "On n'est jamais assez révolutionnaire." Thank you.